Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Wednesday and this is my What You Working On Wednesday video. I showed you this very briefly last night, I believe, when I was cleaning off my little table to finish my scrappy snake. This is a purple and I don't know what color this is. Kind of a dirty white, I don't know. But I told you with these I was making a Tunisian crochet scarf. Here it is. It is one color on one side, the other color on the other side. So that's what it looks like. It is also being made with a double-ended Tunisian crochet hook. Now, I've had this sitting around for a while in my craft room because it's been too hot to do anything, quite honestly. But I noticed I have this really long loop right here. It is way too long for a beginning loop. And then I also noticed that, oh, I know where this loop goes. No. I also noticed while I'm sitting here that I apparently have missed the last stitch right here. I did not finish off this purple row. See, it's a little bit short. So we're gonna go back and fix this. Gotta take the hook out. I'm sorry if I get off screen. I'm trying to watch it while I do this. That means we have to go all the way back, pull out an entire row, which is not a big deal. Tunisian crochet is pretty forgiving. And gotta flip the project over and pull out this purple row. That's what happens when you set projects down. Things happen. And then we gotta remember what we did here. Now I guess I didn't miss a stitch because that would have been the last stitch of that row. So that is correct. And what I'm doing with this is I am just going into the top loops of the return chain. All the way across. Like I said, this is my double-ended hook. This is actually a J double-ended hook. This is a Clover brand. I'll try to recenter myself here. But you go back across with the same color that you did the return stitch on, and then you flip your project. And so this isn't the only project that's in my bag. Technically, what I have with me is my weekend bag. I realize it's only Wednesday, but the weekend's coming. It starts tomorrow. And who knows how much time I will have to crochet on the weekends, because the weekends are our busy time. Monday, Tuesday, and kind of Wednesday is what I count as my weekend because it's not near as busy. But anyway, that is beside the point. We are almost across to the other side. Alright, I grab the purple one, and then come down and grab the white one. And that's where I pull up my first loop, just like that. So I'm guessing there's probably like 20 on here. 6, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 25. So yeah, 25 for me is just kind of pushing it on here. They will come off. And I know I do have those little clippies, but when I set this project down in my craft room, I don't remember how long ago. That was before I had the clippies. But now that I've got this to where I know what's... Speaking of stitches falling off, did you just see that? I pulled that off. There we go. Now that I have figured out back where I'm at and what's going on, I will add the clippies to each end of this and put it back in my bag so that I don't lose my stitches and have to go back a few rows like I did before. Now let me make sure I still got 25. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 21, 2, 3, 4, yep, 25. Okay, so here we're gonna flip this way because I got the yellow on this side and the purple on this side. If you flip accordingly, then you do not twist up your yarn, or you don't twist it near as bad. So we got that flipped. And then with our return color, which is our opposite color, we're going to go back and this is not meant to be a tutorial. I'm just sitting here crocheting, getting my bearings again on where I was at and what I was doing, because it's been at least a good 3-4 months since I even looked at this project. Well, pardon me, I've looked at the project, but I have not worked on the project, because as you seen last night in that video, or yesterday in that video finishing up my snake, this project was a big messy pile on top of my table. Yeah. Alright, so we'll pull through there, and in order to go back across, we're going to do the same thing with our return like we did before. Just go through the top loop of the return stitch, and you can use any size double-ended hook with this and do the same pattern. I kind of like double end because it doesn't get boring, because you're always flipping things back and forth, kind of like, you know, when I do hats with the double, I like doing with the cables as well, but with the double-ended hook you can only go so far, and then you've got to flip it and, you know, grab the yarn and go back again, and then you flip it and start over. So it's just constantly back and forth, back and forth. It gives it plenty of opportunity to not be boring and for things to change, which for me, that is a good thing, in addition to the variegated yarns, or in this particular situation, the different colors, because I'm using 2 different colors. I realize they're both solid, but every other, well, yeah, every row, but each row consists of 2, you know, forward and back. So yeah, every row I am doing a different color. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 23. 24. Pick up the purple and the white, I guess. That gives me 25. There we go. And then once again, we will flip. Get some more yarn and do our return stitch back. Return stitch is always the easiest. I don't have to think for that. The forward stitch is the one I usually have to think on. And I don't know, did I mention this is actually a scarf? I'm sure I probably did, but I can't remember. My brain is going 90 miles an hour right now. It needs to slow down or we're gonna have a crash. Alright, ding, ding. Get me some more yarn. Pull through that last one, and you can always tighten that last stitch up to where it's the correct height, and then we go right back the direction we were going and continue across with our simple Tunisian in the top of the return stitch. So there's that project. This is one project that I have with me to work on. Stick it down here. I have a bag under the under the desk here. The other project, the one that I showed you last week, was that Tunisian hat that I was working with. It is finished. Here is the finished hat. It is amazing. I did the top of it in just simple Tunisian, and then on the body of the hat, after I was done with my increases, I did 3 rows of Tunisian knit, 3 rows of Tunisian simple stitch, Tunisian knit, simple stitch, Tunisian knit, and then just 2 rows of simple stitch, and then I finished it off with 2 rows of single crochet. So there is that, and the top is nice and secure. For those interested, I always love looking at the back of people's projects. Here is the back side of this project, which this could be a reversible hat if you chose, which it looks slightly different, but yet similar on the back. I love how it looks. So I did finish the hat that I was working on last week, and I started another hat. And it needs a bag, actually. It's just sitting in the bottom of my backpack that I always carry with me. But it's not very far. So I'm using this bright yellow and this other yellow that it's a little bit paler. It's kind of like more of a margarine color. This is way too bright on the screen, honestly. See if I can change that a wee bit. There we go. So this is like a bright sunshine sunflower yellow. This is more of a pale color, like a butter type color. This is the one that I used on this hat for the return stitch. And I put these two together, and I'm still on the increases on this. I haven't made it very far, but this is what I have. This looks like a butter hat. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I'm looking forward to finishing this as well. And with this, so far, I'm just, like I said, I'm still doing the increasing on the top. I've got a ways to go. Not too far to go, because this is probably about 5 inches. Oh, that's backwards. One is over here. So yeah, 5 is right there. So this is about 5 inches. So I've got probably another 2 to 4 rows to go before this hat will be big enough. I've got 1, 2, 3. So I'm increasing. I got 7 on my increase, and I go up to 10. So I got 3 more rows, 8, 9, 10, because I started out with 8 loops, so that'll make the hat 80 stitches around, and that is the stitch count that I use for my knit hats. And I also, well, I don't have to decrease this, I guess, because you're increasing at the top. Yeah, you increase at the top, so you don't have to decrease on these. But this one, I make my hats 80 stitches, 80 loops around, 80, whatever you want to call it, which is the perfect size for a child or a small adult / teen size hat. If it fits me, then I figure it's going to fit most people my age or younger, or somebody that's not like somebody that don't have a larger size head, or a baby. It wouldn't fit a baby. But that is my other work in progress. I have 2 Tunisian works in progress that I am working on, and I'm super excited about working on them, and I can't wait to finish them. So thank you guys for joining me for my WIP Wednesday. Let me know down in the comments what you're working on, and I will see you in my next video.